For more than 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter in our community. From our studios in St. Clair, you're watching Focus with Paul Dingeman.
Well, how's October going for you? Looks like it's going to be starting of the leaves a little bit here around our area, and the weather's starting to change a little bit. We're glad to have you back. We've got an interesting show today. Got Ernest Worth with us, Toward, and he is from Habitat for Humanity, and then Deb Johnson will be along. But let's begin with Ernest. Welcome back, sir, to the Focus set. And this is the first time you've been to the news set.
To the news set, the news studio. I always love my time with you, but it is beautiful. You guys have done a fabulous job.
It's all volunteers, and you know how volunteers are. They're great.
I do. You're very blessed.
Talk to me about what's new with Blue Water Habitat for Humanity, Sand Lake, and St. Clair counties.
So everyone probably assumes that with pandemic and everything that nothing's going on.
Yeah.
We never stopped at all.
Oh, wonderful.
We were able to work around lots of different things very safely. We just finished a house in Port Huron, and we just started a house in Yale.
Okay.
And that foundation is in, the walls have started to go up. We are concentrating to get it closed in so we can work all winter on it as well. So our focus right now is in the Yale community area. So we're excited about that.
Over the years, the last few years, you've done on rehabs too, as well as building new homes. You've been gone into the rehab area.
We do. There are a lot of grant dollars available for that, and our focus has been limiting the number of houses per se that are full builds, and so that we can focus on rehabs and rehabilitation of current homes. Mm-hmm. And we do a lot of roof repairs. We do Rock the Block event each year. We just finished that one.
What's Rock the Block?
Rock the Block
I like the title.
We take an area tied to a park area as well and work with the city of Port Huron. And our other partner is the Blue Water Area Chamber. Okay. And we literally focus in a several block area, and we reach out to all of the homeowners and the landlords in that area, and we go in and do beautification and home repairs. This past summer in August, we did the areas near the Blue Water Bridge, area near Doubletree, and we were focused on about 20 to 25 homes in that area. Yes.
Wow, I'm not aware of that program.
And it's primarily done in a one-day event. So we have about 100 volunteers that come out and help us to do that. And then the more extensive work that is contract work for either roofs or other things are done throughout the year as well.
Okay.
So.
Okay. How many years have you been doing Sand Lake too?
So Sand Lake merged with us prior to me becoming the CEO. And my anniversary is October 1st, so I've been with Habitat for 13 years, and I've served in the role as CEO for the past 7. Okay. So the Sand Lake came in about midway for me, and we have been overseeing Sand Lake as well for about 9 years now. Okay. So.
People know the side because they hear about it in the Times Herald and in television and radio of the builds and all that. But talk to me about the restore. What's in the restore? What should I get? What should I bring? What should I do with the restore?
So the restore is probably one of the most integral parts of what we do because it's a part of our fund development plan. Literally, there are 52 restores in Michigan alone.
52, wow.
And we have one of the largest and by far the most fabulous. We've been deemed the LA of restores.
All right.
So we have about a 35,000 square foot building that includes our offices. But the restore is designed so that if you, say, Paul, are going to redo your living room and you have pretty good used furniture, we would come pick that up, or you can deliver it to us and get it to us. We price it in our store at a very reasonable price, it goes back into, all of that money goes back into our organization to, of course, help our funding, as well as pay for paid employees, which looks very good to donors that are giving direct donor dollars to know that we're paying for ourselves as well. So great setup, all different kinds of materials that we sell in the store, from construction materials, appliances, furniture.
Appliances too, I didn't know that.
Oh yes, and as you know right now, appliances, even to go get new ones, you have to wait. So we have a variety of many things. Our store is very clean, safe, fabulous area to go to, right on Pine Grove.
Right behind the Arby's.
Right behind the Arby's, yes.
And it's been there for a long time, 13 years or so, hasn't it?
We've changed locations of our restore 3 times.
You were in Marysville?
We were in Marysville, and that's where I first came in 2008, and I was actually the Restore Director at that time, and then became the Restore Director and Fund Development Director, and then the CEO. And I went to my board.
You just can't hold a job.
I can't. And I came to our board at that time and said, we are not in a donor-centric area, and we need to be in that area so our donors can drop things off and get easily picked up things, and we need to go into a much larger building. And so we did, and so this is our 3rd actual location of stores, but great location too.
You came up with a really unique fundraiser, which I think is marvelous, and Deb Johnson just stepped into the studio, and I think she would look beautiful. She already is beautiful, but even better in a 1961 Rolls Royce.
That's right. And Deb would look good in anything. We love Deb. So Deb and I are pretty good friends too. So this concept came to be because one of our generous supporters, Catherine Houghton, had said she was going to gift us a 1961 Rolls Royce.
1961, this is worth repeating. 61 Rolls Royce.
And it is in beautiful condition. I have had the joy of riding the car. I've also just drove it recently because I had to move it for a photo shoot. And it is our top prize.
How many miles?
You know, I don't actually know that.
Well, you'll find out.
But the car's not been driven a lot in the last 20 years alone. You know, it's been safely in the garage. It was a gift to her late husband, Herbert, and a lot of people that have already seen some of the promos have looked at it and said, hey, it's not a Rolls because it has the Bentley badging and emblems on it. And the real story behind that is Herbert loved his cars back in England, and they were Bentleys. So she had this Rolls Royce modified with the chrome and all of the badging so that it was a Bentley Rolls. And she did that for him. And this gift to Habitat of the Rolls is the top prize in our reverse raffle. And there are actually 100 prizes. And on the 24th of November, we will do the initial pull of the first 950 tickets.
Okay.
All of those people will know, even if they didn't win a prize, they helped build another house for Habitat.
Idea. Great.
And then the other 100 will
be a proud loser.
Correct. And those other 100 tickets will be drawn on November 30th, and the last ticket drawn will, of course, win the 1961 Rolls.
Built in.
That's right. So we're hoping Deb is the one driving around in it. So she might still pick us up, Paul, and take us with her.
She can take us to coffee at Arby's.
That's right.
In front of the building there.
And we'll buy the coffee.
Okay, how do I get a ticket?
So the easiest way is obviously to call our offices, which is 810-985-9080.
9080.
Extension 203.
Okay.
And they will take you through the process. We're listed on our website in that in case someone missed that. I know you guys will have the information up too. And we will take care of the ticket for you via Visa, MasterCard, or any type of credit card. And we will also do checks as well, and we mail you out the tickets. So.
I just think it was so unique, and it was so wonderful of her to think of you, and you've had a good relationship with her for a long time.
She's one of my favorite people in the world.
I understand
Catherine.
she's over 100 now?
She is, yes.
Done a lot of wonderful things for the Blue Water area. Besides just Habitat.
Oh yeah, she is a philanthropist at heart. She is an incredible human being, brilliant, beautiful. I was just with her last week, and just even getting to spend 5 minutes with her makes you feel like you need to be a better human being.
That's that's nice. That's nice.
It is.
Okay, so after this, is there any other promotions coming up in the fall for you?
We also have a calendar coming out right now that is literally the Men of Habitat and some very prominent individuals in the area. So we have all these months represented with men in the area, and we're selling the calendars along with, you can sign a stud to go into the house in Yale that we're building. It's a buy a stud and see a stud in the calendar. Of course, very, very, very well done.
Ernest,
and tastefully done. So.
You are coming up with some great lines here.
We try.
That's a super one. Well, you got, and how do I get involved in that? They just go online again?
Same way. The calendars will be available by November 1st. And great time to buy the calendars and have them available for the first of the year. And they will make great gifts, and you will know that you also are donating to Habitat to build the next house.
Great.
So.
Ernest Worth, always, it's been too long since you've been here, and
yes,
I'm glad you came.
I'm glad to be back.
And we'll have you back soon. Again, we want to hear about how Deb enjoys riding her Rolls Royce.
Me too.
His name is Ernest Worth. He's the Executive Director of Blue Water Habitat for Humanity. And exciting stuff they got going on. So get involved. Go on their website and make sure that you have a chance to win that Rolls Royce. Back with Deb Johnson, just a second. Well, the aforementioned Deb Johnson has now joined us on the set with the keys for that Rolls Royce.
Yay!
That was a great, it was good to see Ernest, and what a great project for Habitat for Humanity.
It is, and we're big supporters at CMH for Habitat for Humanity. Ernest actually came up with an idea for team building, like with your team, your staff, employees, and so he said you can bring teams of employees and work on a build.
Yes.
So do team, and then we did that for 1 year, and so he actually came and talked about team building and working together as teams, and then we people donated altogether a lot of hours on a house, but I loved it. And then I went back even another time and learned how to install flooring.
All right.
Which I put to use in one of my kids' houses, and it was great. You feel good doing that stuff, and I mean, if no one's ever volunteered on a build, it's great, and you don't have to really know what you're doing. They teach you.
It's right, and there's a lot of work to be done, and I like the fact now that they're doing repairs too. So
yeah, I did the Rock the Block too. Our CMH puts a team in Rock the Block, and that's fun too. Like when I did it, we painted one person's steps and pulled weeds somewhere else and did different kinds of things.
Yeah, but it's good.
Yeah, you feel good about it when you're done, and you can really see a big difference from this is what it looks like, and then you're done. So Habitat for Humanity does a lot of great things.
So speaking of people that do great things, St. Clair County Community Mental Health is one of them.
We like to think so.
Oh, well, you do. And this month, the beginning of the month, the first week was Mental Health Awareness Week, and you had a lot of stuff that you've already completed, but review it for me.
I just want to talk really about the importance of Mental Illness Awareness Week, and it was established in 1990 by our United States Congress. And the importance of it is to educate our community about mental illness, so educate them about it, and also just bring awareness to it, and also bring awareness to all the great things that people do in spite of their diagnoses and things like that. And we're always talking about recovery. We believe recovery is possible, and we support recovery. So every year, one of my favorite events is the celebration of recovery, and we select a number of individuals who, through their services and supports that they receive through community mental health, are doing incredibly well with their lives and living their lives in recovery. And so we highlight them, and with their permission, and they come and they get awards, and we have different ones. It's like Hold the Hope Award, the Spirituality Award, the Choice Award, Empowerment Award, things like that are kind of specific to what that person has gone through and what barriers they've overcome and what they're doing today. And we had that event this past week, and you just feel so good. I mean, people share their stories, and and it just shows you that the work that we do matters, and it significantly impacts
helps them and helps you.
Yeah, it helps us, it helps them, and it's great. We even had one of the commissioners, Georgia Baldwin, was there, and she posted a really nice thing about it and just how inspired she was by the event. So we were happy. We used to invite more people, but we can't because of COVID. But yeah, it was great. So anyways, it's important because, and I know I've shared the facts before, but 1 in 5 adults will experience a mental health condition at some point in their life. 1 in 25 adults will experience a serious and persistent mental illness, and 1 in 5 kids. So it's between like 12 and 18. So it's important that we continue to educate about it. And one of the biggest things, and I feel like a super big broken record, but stigma is the #1 reason people don't seek treatment, and we need to continue to do what we can to break down barriers.
I don't think it's a broken record. You might think that, but it's so important to just keep reminding people that they don't want to admit that a loved one has a mental illness. Mental health awareness is very important, and to just keep reminding them is important as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's just as important, and I know we're going to talk about October as Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Right.
So you're not ashamed to tell somebody you have breast cancer.
Right.
You're not ashamed to go seek treatment. You didn't cause your breast cancer. You don't cause your mental illness.
Right.
So people overwhelm me with support when you tell me you have cancer.
Right.
And people need to overwhelm people with support when they tell them they have a mental health diagnosis, because it's in people's brains. It's genetic. It's not something that they've caused to happen to themselves.
Right.
And so we just need to support them and treat it like just any other physical illness.
Okay.
So
one of the other topics for the month of October is depression. Talk to me about that.
Well, depression it's different than sadness. Like back in the day, when even maybe before I was a director, people would say, "Come talk to us about holiday depression."
Yeah.
Well, holiday depression isn't really depression. It's like the holiday blues or sadness that people get around the holidays because maybe they have issues in their family, or if somebody just died, or they've just went through divorce. Having the blues or sadness because of situations is entirely different than depression. Depression is long-lasting. It's a mental disorder with a biological origin in your brain. Again, like I said, you can't help it. It's in your brain. And it can happen at any age to people of any race or ethnicity, socioeconomic levels, any of that kind of stuff. And it's not a normal part of life no matter what your age is. It's something that needs to be treated, and you need to, and with treatment, there's great treatment for depression. There's medications, and there's other supportive types of therapies that, together do a great job. In fact, we are actually the first CMH in the state of Michigan to have what's called Spravato Clinic. Spravato is it's a mist that a person self-administers, but they have to do it on site with us. And that's for people who have severe depression, where they've tried a couple different drug therapies or combos that did not work, and then they can try Spravato. And Spravato, the reason you have to do it on site with us is you have to be observed for like 2 hours after you administer the nasal spray. We have a nice room that we created for it with recliners, and you can relax and just chill out while you're waiting. We have a nurse that monitors the people that are in there. But that is supposed to be a really effective, and we do know of people where it has been incredibly effective for them. And our Dr. Saeed is also willing to provide that treatment for people who are seeing psychiatrists in the private sector, not through our agency. All that their doctor has to do is contact him, and he will work together and set it up for that person.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that's a new program, fairly new program?
Yep, well, in the last couple of years it's new. We kind of just started it right around when COVID happened, so it didn't really get off the ground as much as we had hoped, but people have been getting it, and it's been working. So one of the things we do know too about depression is there have been more diagnosed cases in 2020. And we think specifically related or directly related to COVID.
Right.
So that has caused, that the COVID pandemic has caused depression and anxiety for a lot of people. So. And
I just heard yesterday on the news that the murder rates are up, and that's probably related to somewhat of depression too. You're upset with somebody, you're depressed over something, and you pull out a gun. You touched on National Breast Care Month.
And yep, so October is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so there's always a lot of activities that are going on. Taking a Shot at Breast Cancer just had their annual 5K run and walk last weekend. They also have another event coming up, the Pink Tie Gala. Maybe you can flash that up later.
Yeah, I'll put this on in post-production, but it's a Pink Tie Gala, $65 a person, includes drinks, dinner, and dancing. Friday, October 21st at the Elks. That's a nice facility.
Yep. So that is going to be a big fundraiser for that organization. And that organization, all the proceeds raised stay in St. Clair County, and they go to support people who are dealing with breast cancer.
Oh, good.
People who can't maybe afford wigs or can't afford whatever support or care, medication, whatever. The money is managed by the 3 hospitals, and they all have special funds set up, charitable funds. And so, and we have a fund in with the foundation, an endowment fund with the foundation.
Wonderful.
So that's going to be a great event. But we know 1 in 8 women will experience breast cancer in their lifetime, we also know that early detection saves lives, living proof. And so it's important, that people take care of themselves, women, and you get mammograms, screenings done at doctor recommended intervals, and you stay with that, because depending on the kind of breast cancer you have, you skip a year of a mammogram, that could be the difference between you living or dying. Yeah, and it's such, if you got to have cancer, I think it's one of the better ones to have. I don't know, I haven't had any other ones, but
well, we hope you don't.
But the prognosis is generally pretty good for people with breast cancer with early detection. So I think that's why it's important. Currently there's almost 3 million breast cancer survivors alive today in the United States.
How long ago did you have breast cancer?
I got diagnosed almost exactly 5 years ago. Today's the anniversary of getting my port put in, because I had to have chemo. Right. So I know that only because of Time Hop. The pictures flash up in my phone. So, and I think I'll be 5 years cancer-free would be like March 7th of next year.
Wonderful.
So, yeah.
Wonderful. So, there's been wonderful improvements and medications that help it. And so don't be afraid of it.
Yep. And so people need to, get. I talked to one more person who didn't get a mammogram in 9 years, and I said, why not? And she said, I'm afraid. And I said, what are you afraid of? And she said, well, what if I have breast cancer? And I said, but if you have breast cancer, you don't know it, you're going to die.
Right.
If you find out you have it, they treat it, and you'll live.
Right.
And she did go. She ended up going. So thank goodness. And she was okay.
Good. So. All right. What's next?
Down Syndrome Awareness Month is also in October since 1980. It was designated that by U.S. Congress, and again, it's to raise awareness about Down syndrome. It's to raise awareness about people who have disabilities, but more importantly, to focus on their abilities and the things that they can do. And there's so many things, and people with Down syndrome are as different as we are from anybody without Down syndrome. And what I mean by that is the intellectual level of functioning can be mild impairment all the way to pretty severe or whatever, but anywhere in between. Remember that old show, Life Goes On?
Yeah.
Corky was the star. Corky really had Down syndrome.
Right.
He learned all his lines.
Right.
He did a great job, and he actually was in St. Clair County and did a talk for us a number of years ago, and was great. He was really interesting and a fun man. And but anyway, so there's there's a lot of good things to celebrate with people who have different, we like to say, abilities instead of disabilities. And actually still about 1 in every 700 babies in the U.S. are born with Down syndrome.
Wow.
And Down syndrome doesn't, again, distinguish between race, ethnicity, socioeconomic status, those kinds of things. So it's important that we continue to, learn all we can about it and support people, all people.
Also, you got the community players. What's new with them? We got a slide for that one.
Yes, we have our play this year. Last year we did it was a play, but it was actually recorded and we showed it online because COVID. Yeah. But this year it's an in-person play. It's called We're All Connected, and there's 3 short skits that that sort of flow into each other. And I heard about one. I can't wait to see it. I think it's going to be so good. And I think the whole thing will be good. It's under the direction of Regina Spain. She does an amazing job. It will be at the Citadel. On Friday, November 5th, we have a noon free show, but you have to RSVP in advance by contacting us at Community Mental Health, or on Friday night and Saturday night, November 5th and 6th. There's a 7 p.m. $5 show. So
Okay.
for advance tickets, people can call 966-3706.
Okay, great. We got that up on the screen right now.
Okay.
And then you got a man-to-man. You've been having this series. This series has been pretty successful.
It's been really, anybody who's gone to it say that the talks have been really, really great. And we wish we could fill the place. We haven't gotten a ton of men going, but we want more men to show up. Last month we had Mike McCartan talk about importance of communication. This month we have Kevin Toddy, who is the program director within the St. Clair County Community Foundation. And then we also have Sean Shackelford. He is the executive director of student services and diversity at Port Huron Area School District.
Oh, okay.
So they're going to talk about health and male identity issues. And that's Thursday, October 21st at 6:30 to 8 o'clock at the Municipal Office Center in Port Huron.
Oh,
Again,
it's an easy spot, plenty of parking.
easy.
Walk in.
And it's free.
Yeah, I like that word.
And people can get CEUs if they need to get those, continuing ed credits.
Okay.
So yeah, it's going to be great. We'd like people to RSVP in advance. They don't have to, but space is capped at 50 participants.
Oh, okay, very good.
And then our last session will be on November 18th. We can talk about that next month.
Oh, very good, very
Yeah.
good. What else you got?
I got one other thing to tell you about.
Yeah, something new.
We just started, yes. It's Yoga Nidra, which benefits mind and body. It will be Mondays and Wednesdays throughout the month of October via a Zoom link from 8 p.m. to 8:30. And so you're not doing like twisting and all those kind of yoga moves, because you mostly have to lay, you're laying down while this is going on. So you would want to be at home and in a comfortable spot, your bed, your couch, whatever.
Oh my God.
And and it's guided meditation that again takes place in a comfortable, safe environment. And what they there is evidence that says that this Yoga Nidra helps with healing physical and emotional pain, stress, trauma, improve sleep, and you just feel overall better.
And 8 to 8:30, you could probably just doze right off.
You could do it in your bed and then fall asleep for the night, and your Zoom link will go out at some point. But yeah, so Hope Albers is our instructor. She's been trained in this technique. You can contact her at 966-787-7823, or well, you can email her. But you can also just call our CMH main line and say, hey, can you give me the info on this Yoga Nidra? It's also on our Facebook page under the events tab, website under the events tab. The link is there, and you can just do it that way.
Busy place you got going there.
We do. We have a lot of things going on.
And they work, and they help people.
Yes, and if people who, I wish people would have all seen our yesterday's, or 2 days ago, celebration of recovery, because it really was a celebration and it was great.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
So,
that made you feel good too.
It did. I felt great.
Deb Johnson, she's here every month to talk to us about St. Clair County Community Mental Health and how the St. Clair County Community Mental Health can help you. So give them a call. That's about it for this edition of the Focus program. Thanks very much for tuning in. Till next time, I'm Paul Dingeman. See you soon.
Thanks for watching Focus with Paul Dingeman. Focus is produced at the CTV Community Television Studios in St. Clair. For over 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter to our community.